Evening, happy new year. Hope you are all well. Welcome to my weekly live. I've had a few weeks off with the Christmas break and I am back for 2025. So new year. Good evening, Sue. How are you? Right, let me just get myself sorted. I can't believe we're in January already. We're here. We're in the new year. We've taken all our decorations. I say we have taken all our decorations down. Steve definitely very much did the lion's share. I pointed out that there were some lights missing from what he took everything down. And I went, oh, I think you've missed some lights. Which didn't go down very well, but he did a good job taking everything down, and I was very grateful to not have to do the majority of that, but it inevitably ends up with loads of cleaning, doesn't it? And I did participate in that part. So yeah, the house is all de-Christmased and all the sparkly lights have gone away and the trees gone away, and we've got wet and windy weather. So hello, welcome everyone. Welcome Terry. She says, I hardly get to catch you live and you've caught me today. Welcome. Shaz and Louisa and Joanna and Mandy. Janine, Kayla. Morning, Kayla. Morning. We've got Sue and Sue. Evening, Sarah. So what we're going to do this evening, I thought I'd do a little bit of watercolouring. So coming up tonight, is the last chance to book on my couple of classes I've got coming up in January. I've got the Happy Hibiscus and the Mixed Florals, which is this one. So this is an online exclusive that is going to be coming in just a couple of days. Everything kind of goes live on the 7th of January. So we've got all the celebration offers, we've got a celebration joining offer, we've got celebration earnings, we've got the new spring January to April catalogue. So lots of lovely things, new scrapbook products that are coming. I will send out some information in my newsletter. So if you want all of that written out for you, I will be putting that all in a newsletter, so be sure to be on my list. Bianca, I have to watch back again because of dinner. Yeah, we don't want food. Food has got to be a priority. Mandy says I'm on my second refill. It's got to be used up, hasn't it? All the wine and the goodies and the lovely treats have got to be enjoyed. So yes, right, let me stamp out some of these goodies, but yeah, I just wanted to say tonight is the last chance. It won't close officially till like the morning. I'm going to do it over breakfast, so you literally have all of this evening if you'd like to join my hibiscus or mixed floral class. It's only the kits by post that are closing tonight. The classes, if you want to join online only, will remain open for a little bit longer and closer to the dates of the classes. I have also, and I mentioned this before Christmas, I'm also holding some in-person classes once a month at a local garden centre. It's Haskins Garden Centre, just down the road from me. There is like a room in the back part of the restaurant, which we're going to be using. It will hold 20 people. I've set the limit at, so there is a maximum capacity. I still have a few seats available for the January the 11th. So next Saturday morning is the first one of them. So if you would like to come and you're close enough to come along, there is a few seats left. So if you'd like to come, that will also need to close tomorrow, just for preparing packs and things like that. So but you've still got a chance to sneak in and grab a seat if you would like to come along and join us. So that'll be an in-person class, 10:30 till 1. Let me turn the table over. So 7th of January is when all the stuff kicks off. So Celebration, it's a great time. If you've got a wish list, it's a perfect time to join. And there's going to be an offer where you can get 2 packs of the new Stampin' Right markers and a stamp set, as well as your starter kit. So this is the stamp set. So it's got a flower, a couple of sentiments, and a little plant pot, which is super cute. And 2 packs of markers. In the UK, they're £35 a pack. So £70 of markers, and then this stamp set on top of your starter kit goodies, which is £99 to join, and then you'll get £130 of product plus those extra items. If you didn't want the markers, then you can add £30 extra, so you'll get £160 of product for £99. So £60 of extra free product, which is a bargain. Right, I did stamp out. Good evening, Hazel. I did stamp out some of these in advance, only because I wanted to clean my stamp, because I was stamping in Stays On for the card that I'm going to make with you first, and I wanted it clean to be able to use with Memento. So I stamped it in advance. New year, new me, hey? Getting things ready. Who'd have thought it? So this Mixed Florals is an online exclusive, so you won't see it in the mini catalogue, but it's available from the 7th. They are big images. So the image on the front is just 75% of the image size, and that is the image size at 100%. So they are big, and you'll want either a stamping platform or the largest block that we carry to hold these fully. So that's the another F block to have that fully on there. So I have stamped out this in Stays On some watercolour paper. Hello, Paul. And we're going to watercolour. So I wanted to do a loose watercolour. So I am actually going to use a paintbrush rather than a water painter, because I wanted to get a good amount of water on here. I can't remember what size brush this is, but it's a larger one than the water painters. So that's your medium, and then that's the brush. This will absolutely do the job, but I didn't want to go to using this flat brush. I wanted a larger round brush. So I'm just going to use a paintbrush for this, and I'm going to where is the inks? Here. Use a selection of yellows. So you've got Daffodil Delight, Crushed Curry, Wild Wheat, and then I've got some Shaded Spruce and Pretty Peacock for the greens. And I'm going to use a bit of paper towel as well. Just move that out of the way. I'm going to start with the Daffodil Delight. So the Daffodil Delight, I'm going to grab and just put that as a sort of a base to the whole thing. Now, I'm not worried about staying in the lines because I do want this to be very washed. Don't know if that's a technical term. I've got a real mix actually, Kayla. This one is called Master's Touch. I like the shape of the brush rather than the thing. I've got Aquafine. I've got a pot here on my desk, which is like all my aqua paint. Like I've got a mix of spritzers, aqua painters, paintbrushes. So yeah, just I don't use them. I tend to just use the water brushes. But as I say, I wanted a bigger brush, and I wanted it to be kind of able to put a lot of water down, I guess. It's an Emma term. Yeah. So right, that's the base colour, and then I'm going to add in some crushed curry to the tulips. And then I'm going to come back with the wild wheat. I do want to add some wild wheat, but whilst that is still very wet, I don't want to add the wild wheat and have it running into the wet of the water, because it will just make it all muddy and too dark. So shaded spruce. I think I'm going to have to look at the size of what. Oh no, do you know what? Here's me saying I don't know what size that brush is. It's got a number on it. There you go. It's an 8. And I had a 6. They're probably my 2, but the 6 is very similar to the medium. The 6 is almost identical, which is why I don't it's about the same in terms of brush amount to the medium water painter, but I wanted something a bit bigger, and so I went for an 8 round. So that was the sort of next size up. There we go. Hopefully that's helpful. Right, let me grab some shaded spruce. I think ideally I'd quite like an evening evergreen, but that was a retired colour, so I went shaded spruce. It looks a bit of a mess to start with, but we'll go with it. Now, shaded spruce is a strong colour, so you definitely don't want to be taking from that very, very dark area of ink. Otherwise, it's just going to overfill. Okay. So this is where I'm just going to go slightly out of the lines because I want it to be a bit more watercoloured than perfectly coloured in. And the green wasn't quite the green that I was wanting, so I have got some peacock, and I'm going to take a little bit of pretty peacock and mix that through the greens so that it kind of mixes the two colours together. like that. If you're thinking it's a bit too dark, you can always dab out some of the colour if it's too much. I'm kind of happy with that. I was intentionally watching you. I caught his eye. Watercolouring for dogs. We'll just dry that off. And then this is where we can then bring in the wild wheat, because we've now got the yellow is a little bit drier. I think we could raise some of this up actually, because I have stamped some extra flower heads, so I could just abandon these flower heads and not fuss about them too much, because what we could do is I have stamped some of these. So it was organised. When you watercolour, have you ever mixed medium sized? Have I mixed? I haven't actually. I tend not to Jeanette, mix the watercolour pencils when I'm. You could. I tend to use the watercolour pencils more over the top of blends, oddly, even though they're watercolour pencils, just to give extra shading on there. I don't see why you couldn't. You definitely want to make sure that the watercolouring was dry, because the pencils would kind of melt into the water. So this is just Daffodil Delight and Crushed Curry at the minute. And then what we can do is let that dry. I think it would work. It's just that if the if the paper was wet and I went to put the pencil on this just now, the pencil would kind of melt, because it's water based, so it would melt in. Happy New Year to you, Sharon. Happy New Year to everyone joining. I hope that you had all had a restful Christmas. I know time over Christmas break can be different or difficult for various reasons, but I hope that everyone had at least a restful and sort of peaceful break. I was very lucky actually. We had lots of family time, lots of lovely food, and sort of catching up and spending time with friends and various dinners and sleeping in, having lay-ins, or having afternoon naps. That was a definite problem for me yesterday. I sat down far too late in the day. I sat down, well, not late in the day, but like 4:30, 5 o'clock. And I thought, oh gosh, I'm tired. And I made the mistake of falling asleep. And I was sound asleep till about 8 o'clock, which was like big no. And then when I eventually went to bed, I could not get to sleep. So I will be falling asleep very quickly this evening, because I am shattered. I was kind of conscious. I was conscious that I was awake until, I don't know, maybe 6:30. I don't know. I didn't sleep very well at all last night. But that's because I had a massive power nap on the sofa. So you don't need to feel too bad for me, because I definitely slept just at the wrong time of the day. So tonight will be an early night. I'm back to work tomorrow, back to routine. So looking forward to that, actually. Looking forward to getting back into the routine of things. Right, let's just give this a little dry. Aren't these images just gorgeous? Like, whoever drew these, I mean, like 10 out of 10 for whoever drew this stamp set, because it is awesome. The other image in it as well, the daisy one, we'll have a look at that in a minute, is just as gorgeous. They are big, but perfect for colouring techniques. But you can do some quick and simple things with it as well. You don't have to, you don't have to colour it all. You can stamp it tone on different coloured cardstocks and things like that. Good evening, good evening, good evening. So there is dies, but it will cut out the whole image. So the die will go around the whole piece, and I'm just cutting out the tulip tops so that we can put them back onto this card here. As I say, if you'd like to join us for the class at the end of the month, it takes place on the Friday night and the Saturday night. So there will be 3 cards on the Friday night, 4 cards on the Saturday night, and lots of different techniques, some fancy folds, colouring with watercolour, colouring with blends. So lots to be doing. And if you are joining online only and thinking what else might I need for that class, just the papers, the designer papers that go with the suite. There is a sort of like a sentiment suite. There's two stamp sets in this suite. One is the images, which is this one, and then there's another one that's sort of more words and labels and things like that. What was my point? You can absolutely, I will be using that as part of the class, but you could easily swap that out for other sentiment options that you might have in your stash. So if you were going to opt for one stamp set over the other for the class, then I'd go for the image one and then swap out or use something that you might already have in your stash for the sentiments. But there we go. Right, let's do this. Taking a guess at what to buy. Yeah. Right. So I'm going to put a dimensional on there, and then we'll pop that over the top. The same for this one. Just giving them a little bit of a zhuzh. Oh, do you know what? I'm gonna pull them back off for a minute. Pull them off because I'm gonna do some splattering, and I don't want to get them on the flowers. Normally I don't care. Normally I just throw the splatters anywhere. They can just go anywhere they like, but I'm gonna try and avoid there we go. That is Pretty Peacock, and I've just put some ink on the tip of the brush and then tapped it and then that will, you just need to be really careful not to smudge then those ink drops. Make sure that they're dry. Right, now I can put the flower tops on. So let me just place that dimensional. There. And that one. And then this one. Now, in the new mini catalogue, there is some, what are they called? Ephemera? Are they ephemera? What are they called ephemera? I'm not sure. I'm just going to find the right words. Mix and match ephemera packs. So if you have a catalogue, electronic or hard copy, on page 13, there are mix and match ephemera packs. And there's one that's called Greetings for All Mix and Match Ephemera Pack. And it has printed sheets of sentiments in black and white text for various occasions. And this is them. So you have two of these ones. Let's do it that way up. Two of those ones, and then two of that one. So lots of different options. Birthday, some Christmas, sympathy, Mother's Day, thinking of you, Easter, general just notes, baby sentiments. So you've got a whole load of sentiments in there. I'm going to use this one, Hugs and Kisses, with the white on the black. So you've got loads in there. And a couple of sentiments on there. Then these are teeny tiny, they're called tiny bees, but they're teeny tiny bee trinkets. They are tiny little trinkets. Now, if you had the ones, the bumblebee trinkets from before, that's the bumblebee trinket, and then that is the teeny tiny one. So like tiny. They are shinier. These are more matte in size, like in more matte colour. But these are more like a little sequin, I guess. So Danette says the sentiments are from the new mini. So they are from this catalogue. That will go live on the 7th, and I can't show you the inside, but it is on page what did I say, 13, page 13. Greetings for All Mix and Match Ephemera Pack And if you wanted a number, it's 164862. 164862. And they are only $6.75 UK prices, $8.50 in euros, and then obviously different prices per market, but a reasonable price for a whole load of sentiments, I thought. I'm going to use a little bit of a glue dot and then pop that little teeny tiny bee there. Cute. And some yellow adhesive doodads. So these are the adhesive back shiny sequins. They came originally with the Zinnia suite, but they are just awesome for anything. Probably one of my most used sequins because they've got just like lots of fun colours in. And more recently, actually, I've used the yellow ones loads on projects that I've been doing. I normally gravitate towards the like the berry burst pinky kind of colours, but the yellows and oranges I've been working my way through. Don't sneeze when the lid's off. I know, right? Oh, that's okay, Karen. Was it good? I had to watch Call the Midwife. Good. You were busy signing up for my classes. You're excused, Annette. Right, there we go. So let's put that on to a background. So let me pull out a couple of options. We've got shaded spruce, I would say, and then crushed curry, or maybe we could go I like that on the green, or you've got the crushed curry, which is kind of bright, isn't it? I like that it kind of picks out the tempted to go curry. Let's go crushed curry. And I've done my score line down at 10.5, and then I'm going to go half that way. So 14.8. Just turn that, just because I don't want any ink splodges to get on the card. I would say that this could do with a little splatter of Wink of Stella, but my Wink of Stella has run out, shock horror. But I have got more on the way. But it really, I've still got it on my desk, but nothing much is coming out of it. It's kind of run out. We just need an inside piece. My little New Year's resolution every year: do the insides of my cards. I get till about February, and then all my good intentions go out the window. Like, you have to keep me on track this year. Keep me on track, on task with making sure that I've got nice insides. It was when I came to write my Christmas cards, so many of them were kind of needing an insert or needing finishing. I thought I must get better at this, making the insides, or at least putting a white layer in so that it could be on the dark cardstock, it could be written. Right, crushed curry. Just do a little zhuzh inside. That is a Daffodil Delight, and the nib is well on its way out, so I don't mind splattering with it because it's already ruined. I tend to colour with the bullet tip anyway. I do like when I open a new blend and the tip of the blend, the brush tip, is lovely and beautiful and new. I will colour a little bit with that, but I prefer the bullet tip because it's a bit firmer. So I find like the pressure that I can apply is more kind of it's more comfortable. And so I don't mind splattering with the brush tips because I don't use them for colouring. So I'm going to just put a bit of glue in that corner. It's just lifting a little. If any of your splatters have smudged or kind of gone where you don't want them to go, because it is watercolour, you can be a little bit like, you can come back in with a brush and have a little bit of a tidy up if some of them have gone where you don't want them to. So you can kind of, depends how brave you're feeling, but you can dab that back up off the paper, kind of clean it up a little bit. You can't do that on basic white, it won't lift, but there you go. Yeah, a little bit of watercolouring for you and a very simple sentiment. So a couple of those bees, a few sparkles and some watercolouring, and then just the inside is blended with a blending brush. So what was I going to say? I've had this in my mind. I thought I was going to do it for the class cards, but when I went to design all the class cards, I didn't end up doing it. So we're going to have, and it's not, I didn't do this technique and decide that I didn't like it and give up. I made so many of the other cards, I never quite got to it because I had such a lovely time designing the class. The cards kind of came quite quickly for the class because they were well, right up my street with the flowers. So I was in my happy place designing that class. But I wanted to do some paper piecing. Whether this works or not, I did promise that I did say we'd use the other stamp, but I don't think it will work so well. So I think this one will work better for the paper piecing. And then maybe we'll do this another week. Another time we'll come back to the daisies. But I thought we could use some of the toadstool papers. So these are Celebration papers. So you can get these for free with a spend during Celebration, which starts on Tuesday, the 7th. If you're in the UK, Celebration starts at 11 o'clock in the evening tomorrow night. So because we are an hour behind, it's midnight in Europe, but it starts for us at 11 p.m, which is kind of cool. So let's see. Going to stamp that on there, and then we will have just the tulip heads on here. I might go 2 layers. Could always come back and stamp more if we need to. Thanks, Terry. It's a beautiful card. I love the tulips heightened. It definitely adds a little bit of depth, doesn't it, to add the pop of dimensions behind the tulips. So I'm going to cut this. Then that's a little bit more useful rather than me hacking at that paper. The technical term for it. Right, so I'll cut the tulip tops heads out. One. Say as soon as I laid eyes on this suite, I was like, I have got to have it all. It's a buy it all button. Except all of it wasn't available at the point we could pre-order. So I didn't buy it all because I couldn't, but the rest of it's on its way. There are some memories and more cards which coordinate with this suite. They weren't part of the suite actually. The suite is the 2 bundles, the paper, some gems, an embossing folder, and obviously the 2 sets of dies, 2 stamp sets. But the memories and more cards look lovely. And they are winging their way. They'll get here just in time for me going back to work. Which is always the way. But that's what evenings are for. A little bit of crafting time. Let's do this one. Now the leaves are going to be a little bit more intricate, I suppose. So I think what I'm going to do is stamp out the image again, and then so I hope they have everything when I order. Or yes, I hope so. Fingers crossed. Are you ready to order tomorrow night? Okay. Thanks, Joanna. I love this idea. Right, let's just clip that off. It will just help to see as well what we're cutting from where on the paper. Right. Get rid of that bit, and then hopefully this is like, it seems I like what your class is going to be as well. Yeah, I've got my classes through until March, I think I ended up doing. I think I stopped at March. I was being organised enough. It was being too organised. So yeah, I've got storybook class coming up. That's a cute suite. Very sweet, very Peter Rabbit-esque Those lines are confusing me. That. I think I might get rid of all of that. Let's get rid of that bit there. And we can do a little check, can't we? We could do a little check on here of what we've got going on. We're good. Got the green. Got the green going on there. And then across there. It's quite a chunky image to do this with as well. It's not too fiddly, and you could always do it in pieces if you wanted to, like if you were do it in sections, couldn't you? I'm going to go around there. Messes with your eyes a little bit. I'm not going to lie, having the pattern on the paper plus the lines, it's like which bit is where. I do like a challenge though. Mandy says, Story Bit Sweet and the Dinos were my first purchase. And then I knew I needed this stamp, so on the way. Oh, good. Yeah. The dinos are so cute, aren't they? They're adorable. I'm definitely going. I've got them. I haven't inked them up yet, but they are adorable and will definitely be featuring on a Sunday live or two. I don't know. It's they're very sweet. I need to come down that leaf. On that leaf, I can get rid of the flower there. And then just need that leaf at the top. There. Okay, so we can glue that on in a minute. Oof, I think we're nearly there. I want to cut out that gap. So I'm going to come in at the bottom of that stem and go around and then cut that gap out. So that'll just, it doesn't matter that that's been cut apart because it will come back together when we glue that down. What was that bit from? I'll hang on to that for a minute. I don't know where that's from. Right. Shall we get some petunia pot? Dark petunia, light petunia. Let's do these little flowery bits. dark petunia. And then we can glue this down. So the new glue, don't be a pain. Let's try this one. Oop. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of glue. Why is this being? Where the green's going to go. And then we can piece that back in. Like that. The reason I've coloured the flowers first is so that you don't then get the pen on the paper. And if there's any little tricky bits like that, we can just put a little bit of glue under there. So we've got our green, our leafy green, back on there. This line here is a little bit of a tricky one when you're colouring, because it is actually, it's the line sits against the leaf, but then it comes up and it's the thin line of this purple flower. So you think, oh, is that a leaf there? But it's not. That is the stem, and then that is the leaf. So I think we're good. And then we want our purple bits to go back on top. So I'm going to get my bone folder, if you're still with me, and just give these a little bit of a curve. And I'm going to get some dimensionals and do the dimensionals on the base layer. And then, oh, thank you, it's coming out. It's oh, yeah, it was a little bit. Do you know, I think you might want to practice. Like, I've coloured this a lot, so I've coloured this image and I've used this image a lot in preparation for the class, and so kind of I've got quite familiar with like looking at the image and figuring out which bits where. I think if you're not quite so familiar, I'd colour the image maybe a couple of times just to maybe get familiar with what's sitting where on the image, but you or pick something that's less patterned in the paper, but or as I say, I've done it quite quickly. If you go a little bit slower, and to be honest, even if you chop a little bit off, you can always stick it back on, can't you? You know, that was confusing me, because that looks like a leaf. It looks like, I was thinking, I wonder where that's kind of come off, but actually it's the inside part of that, which is the stem going down. So that is a not needed bit. Right, let's do that, and then I think I'm going to go with the trusty glue dots, and rather than double dimensioning, just give these a little bit of texture, and then glue dot at the base, so that you've got that lovely texture, but it's still obviously stuck on there. Sylvia says, oh, just home, what a treat, something different, something fresh for for the new year. Bit of spring tulips. I did a watercolour one before this, so you will be able to catch up. Would you colour the stamped image since you're putting the paper cuts all the time? Would you colour the stamped image since you're putting the paper cuts on dimensionals? Colour the underneath image. I wouldn't, if that's what you mean, because I'm going to put the... Oh, because they're... I see what you mean. So they're white underneath. I probably wouldn't, just because I'm lazy, Paul. You could definitely throw a bit of fresh freesia blend on there, and you could do it fairly swiftly, because you're not going to see any of the shading or color. Like if you spend a lot of time doing intricate colouring, you're not going to see it. You're going to cover it right up. But yeah, if you didn't want the white to peek out from the edge, then yeah, you could throw a little bit of base colour. I'm just going to get a glue dot on the layer that had the dimensionals and pull that down so that it really sits. I should have done that before really, but it then sits down here and more shaped, if that makes better sense. So it just gives some shaping onto there. Yeah, I'm pleased with that actually. I wasn't sure, as I say, I had the paper cutting in my head when I went to design the class, and I never got round to it with all the other cards that I was making. So I wanted to have a go, and that's using the Toadstool Celebration paper. And because we've done a lot of fussy cutting and a lot of intricate cutting on that, we can use a more simple sentiment, can't we? Maybe we could do a white one on this, maybe like best wishes, or just a note about that more simple best wishes. Got best wishes, or is that more? Quite like the black with the white on it. Three that I know. Card and a Cuppa is early for some people. Every Friday I have my Card and a Cuppa membership. If I have my catalogue launch on the 11th, so Saturday the 11th in the evening from 7 till 10 p.m. So 3 hours. If you come along and join the catalogue launch, it's £12 if you're not on my team or you're not a member of my Card and a Cuppa membership. But the bonus is if you join the catalogue launch, you'll not only get the catalogue launch for the 3 hours of live crafting content on Zoom, but you will be added into the Card and a Cuppa membership group for the month of January for free. So if you want to come and see what that's all about, test that out, you can get the catalogue launch and come into the Card and a Cuppa membership group for the month of January. If you go to my website and just go to coastalcrafter.com, and under the classes, there is a Card and a Cuppa membership button, and you can just choose to join that, or you can choose to join the catalogue launch and you'll automatically be added into the Card and a Cuppa group. So you have a choice. You could choose to go straight into the membership and you'll get the catalogue launch as part of that anyway, or you can do a bit of a test run and come and join us for the catalogue launch and see what it's all about. So there we go. Right, let's put some sparkles. Hi, Chris. Let's put some celebration sparkles. We've got purple ones here. Let's do some of these. There's a little bit of sparkle on there. And maybe do we need a little bit of can we all put in the suggestion box that we need this same twisted thread in silver, please? Because I'd really like that. If that would be possible. I do like the gold. I mean, I use the gold more than anything, but sometimes silver just sits nicely with certain colours, doesn't it? Or a copper. Wouldn't it be nice in a copper? So pretty. Shah says you're top of the fussy cutting. I do love a little bit of fussy cutting. Let's just tuck that bow under there. There we go. Simples. Let's put that on a lovely purple base. Let's do Petunia Pop for a nice bright card base. So yeah, if the toadstool paper wasn't grabbing you for the toadstools, although I'm coming around to quite liking the toadstools, I have to say, the other side of the paper is gorgeous for patterns and stuff. Oh, thank you, Paul. Thank you. Yes, it is available. I just need to launch it onto my website. So that I'm part of the All-Star Tutorial Bundle. And for the next 6 months, there are tutorials every month. There is 12 of us in this tutorial bundle. And you can subscribe for 6 months and you get a month free, or you can purchase a month at a time. And the January one is the Marbled Elegance. So lots of gorgeous pinky, reddy, Valentine's-y gold papers. Beautiful. They are video tutorials by the amazing team. And yes, I will sort that after this live. It was on my list today and I didn't quite get to it. So I will do that and I will put a post up. The blog hop goes live on Wednesday and all the details will be on there as well, but I will get that up shortly. Excellent tutorials by all. Thank you. Oh, Becky, that's so sweet. You'll never regret joining the Card and a Cuppa group. So much inspiration, and my thing blocks the rest of your comments. So much inspiration, laughter, and as always, Emma throws in extras. Agreed, a lovely group. Oh, thank you. There you go. Petunia. Let's put a little white base inside. Fridays are my favourite day of the week. I get to hang out with everyone in there. It is loads of fun. I love it. I love it. And it's live on Zoom, but if it is 3:30 in the morning or something crazy and you don't fancy getting out of bed like some people do, which I am in awe of, then the replays are available for you anytime, night or day, when you want to be able to watch them. So, right, let's pop. Oh, I should have done this before I stuck the white down, but never mind. There. I'll peel that white off. Will I get that on there? It's gone all what's the tea? It's gone all doodad, like double stamped. There we go. See, I do have bits of paper on my desk that look like that. When I'm designing my classes, I have a big pile of paper that looks like this on my desk. It never, my bin is full of bits that have gone wrong. Right, let's do that like I should have done it in the first place. And pop some petunia. Petunia in there. Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. Carol says you'll never regret Emma classes or groups. Oh, you are also so kind. Right. There we go, fixed. Phew. Put that out of the way. There we go. 2 fun cards. 1 watercolouring, loose, throw it on kind of watercolouring, and 1 with the paper piecing with the Toadstool Garden 6x6 papers. Let me show you this one. So if you missed it, that's what we did to start with. As I say, the stamps, this is one of the stamps in this stamp set, and the other stamp in here, the daisy one, is equally gorgeous. It's just that with the techniques that I have shared this evening, the slightly larger images, wider images, if you like, lended themselves. I'm not that crazy to paper piece with this one. So certainly not live. I should do a world tour of in-person classes. Oh my goodness, I would love that, Paul. That is like, I would absolutely love that. Yes, that could be a dream for sure. Fabulous. Right, well, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed those. As I say, class is still open to come and join for the mixed floral class, and there is also a super awesome kit as well, I should say that, with the same stamp set. Both are still open until the end of today, and I will be back next Sunday for another live. Catalogue goes live on Tuesday, so if you've got a wish list, happy shopping on Tuesday. And I will see you back here next Sunday. If you've got any requests, then please do let me know. If you've got any particular stamp set requests, I'm always happy to give it a go. If I've got them on my shelf, I will happily share some inspiration with particular requests. The dinos are on my list for a live, and I will be returning to this stamp set to show you some of the daisy cards as well. So have a wonderful rest of your day, Sunday evening, and have a good week. If you're back to routine, back to work, then I hope it goes well for you, and I will see you next weekend. Take care, everyone. See you next week. Bye.